Ahoy and welcome to the Junk Drawer part of the Cork Bats Podcast Network. Today is October 4th, and we're recording this on October 4th, 2023. I'm Kenny from Cork Bats, one of the new faces of the Junk Drawer Podcast, which is essentially Cork Bats catch-all podcast. We just kind of talk about everything from sports, movies, TV, social media, like you name it, we're probably going to talk about it. So yeah, I'm Kenny. I'm also joined by my good friend Kevin. Kevin, how are you?
Oh, Kenny, I'm great. Thanks for asking.
Good. And we are also joined by our good friend, Mr. KC Mob. Mob, how are you?
Howdy.
All right. Well, if you're new to the junk drawer or simply forgot what it is, we haven't done an episode in a month. That's going to change. We're going to be more consistent. I promise.
This is my first ever junk drawer episode.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You weren't on the first one, so I'm glad you're here. Again, it's the official catch-all podcast of Cork Bats. We're just here to have a good time. Our main segment, as always, is Good, Back, Ugly, which we'll get to in just a second. But before we do that, Kevin, name a woman.
Donna Kelsey.
Got it.
She's a woman.
Mob, name a woman.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Got it. All right. Well, we're ready to get going. So, yeah, we're going to talk about what's good. We're going to talk about what's back. And we're going to talk about what's ugly. So I think we should start. I think we should start with Mob. Mob, what's your good this week?
Well, weirdly enough, my good this week is Donna Kelsey.
Oh wow! It's almost as if
Is
Kevin
it
couldn't
really?
think of a name.
I hadn't looked at the rundown. Mob when I looked at it, Mob hadn't had anything in there.
Look.
He likes that.
We don't need to get into the behind the scenes of how this podcast works.
No.
And
you're
my
right,
good
you're
is
right.
Donna Kelsey, and here's why. Because she's just so wholesome and so lovely, and she loves to support her children. And it's apparently her getting attention for being a good mom is just annoying people. So I think that's great, because all she is a great mom to her two wonderful baby boys. And I, for one, love seeing her in commercials. She's my favorite person that they cut to during football games. My favorite patron, that is. And I just think she's great.
Yeah. Is it a crime to have your mom support your podcast?
Is she getting backlash? Am I missing the backlash?
I think she's getting backlash because
I think people are tired of her, and I'm just here
Yeah.
to say I am not.
I think
Of
it's
anyone to be
probably
tired of,
amplified.
it's not Donna. There's
No.
other people to be tired of.
Sure. There definitely are several other people to be more tired of. I do feel like the whole situation, I don't know if you're aware of this, but Travis Kelce is dating Taylor Swift. I don't know. It's kind of not like the biggest news in the world right now.
Prove it.
Okay. Fair. I don't think I can. But I will say that I think that's probably amplified any attention towards anyone whose last name happens to be Kelsey, whether that's Jason, Travis, or Donna, maybe even Big Ed. So, yeah.
Look, Big Ed is missing out on this.
Honestly, maybe it should just be my good as the Kelsey family. Because I watched the Jason Kelsey doc the other night, and
worth it?
His kids are like my favorite kids in the world.
They're great.
They crack me up.
His wife seems like a hoot.
His wife is awesome. Kylie's just a delight.
Yeah.
But his oldest daughter is a female version of him, and it's hilarious.
It's really funny. I totally agree.
What's that streaming on? I need to watch it.
It's on Prime.
Okay.
Where Thursday Night Football happens. You know this.
Yeah.
I would say that I definitely, I won't confirm it or deny it, but were tears shed during the watching of the Kelsey documentary? Who's to say? Were they my tears? Again, who's to say? Did I hide my face with the pillow so my wife wouldn't see me crying? I can't confirm or deny it.
No one's accusing you of that. So,
right. I'm just getting out in front of it. Not saying that it happened, but I'm just getting out in front of it. So, yeah.
Also, I need to point out right now, if you were to put a little lightning bolt on Kevin's forehead, this is what Harry Potter would look like with a mustache.
I got a scar over my left eye. Was his over his right or his left eye?
I'm not that much of a nerd.
You look like if Harry Potter were a dad in the 80s who came home from work and changed from his work clothes into a flannel.
Yeah.
Sick. Do I look more like Harry Potter does than Harry Potter did in the last movie when they tried to make him an adult?
Yeah.
I think that's what we're trying to say here.
Yeah.
You do look like a real Harry Potter adult.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Easy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not a diss. You look
I don't like
handsome.
to be. I think anytime anyone calls anybody a something adult, it's not a compliment.
Right.
Like even if you don't mean it that way. Yeah, I mean that's where it stems from. But if you call me a Harry Potter adult, I'm not going to take that. I'm going to be like, hey, what the heck?
Those are fighting words.
Yeah.
Right.
I will fight you.
I rescind and apologize. So, anyways.
Okay. You are sick. You don't normally apologize to me.
Hey, I'm turning over a new leaf. Well, the Kelsey family, the good of the NFL, the good of Mob for this week. So, Mob, thank you so much for that. Let's move on to Kevin. Kevin, what is your good this week?
My good is the only other sport that ESPN covers, and that's the NBA drama season is back. I mean,
hell yeah, brother.
I can't get enough of it. I mean, it kicked off with a bang. Every year, I think like this is the best year, and then the next iteration of like free agency or trade deadline or whatever comes, and it just gets one up. So we recently had Dame Lillard finally traded to the Bucks. That spurred a Drew Holiday move to the Blazers and now the Celtics. And then today we're getting news of James Harden saying, I'm about to blow this city up in Philadelphia. He apparently showed up to practice and tried to pull, maybe I'm getting faked out, but just reading on Twitter, he apparently showed up to practice, tried to pull a Jimmy Butler like he did in Minnesota, challenging the starters to a scrimmage at practice with the bench players. And apparently they got housed. So it didn't work, and then apparently he stormed off in a huff. So it's fun to watch the greats in their prime do what they're great at. James Harden is great at being a terrible teammate,
lacking self-awareness.
He's great at being just a doofus.
I love him. Like I honestly just love him at this point. That's what I'm big on. The NBA, it's fun. I don't care.
Go ahead, Mom.
If you're going to be good at something, commit to it. And he's really good at requesting trades at every stop he goes to, no matter who they put around him. It's awesome. Honestly, I love it.
Is he the GOAT of requesting trades?
I am surprised at this point he has not requested a trade from Team USA. Like, when is that happening?
Which Olympic team do you think he would want to play for?
Croatia?
Yeah, that was on the tip of my tongue. So you stole it. Speaking of NBA drama and committing, especially to NBA and committing, we can't go much further without talking about this.
Yeah.
I honestly thought this was photoshopped when I saw this on Twitter the other day.
If you forget, like, so he did this last year too, just not the same hairstyle. It was, he had like long dreads. And if you forget he does this on media day, it is jarring if you're just like scrolling stats and you pull up Jimmy Butler and his picture pops up with his weird hairstyle. So I guarantee you there'll be a time in January or February, I will have forgotten about this, but I will go to look at Jimmy Butler stats and I will get what they deemed him on the internet as ball out boy.
Yeah.
And it will literally unsettle me in that moment.
Well, it happened last year in the finals. I mean, the Heat were in the finals, and then they just kept showing Jimmy Butler's stats, and it was his picture that didn't look anything like him.
Because he put on the long dreads and he had it in a ponytail. Yeah. My favorite part about this is they've already updated NBA 2K.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw some footage of Jimmy.
Is that like his headshot?
Hair. No, it was like the animated in-game footage of Jimmy Butler with the emo hair.
Even better.
I love that. I mean, and then NBA season starts in like, oh my gosh,
it's like Halloween-ish.
Oh my gosh,
Halloween.
What? It's like it was like over 100 degrees here today, so it's like it's confusing, like trying to figure out what time of year it is.
Yeah, this isn't my ugly, but it is. I mean, This is the worst beginning to a fall I've ever had. It's been
Yeah.
90 degrees every day.
Yeah,
It's October.
It's rough. It's October. It's mid-October. It's October 4th. We're in the middle of it,
It feels like August.
give or take. And
It's
it does
good.
feel like August. It's not fair. It's really not fair. Well, cool. Mob. Or Kev. Thanks for your good, bro. All right. I want to tell you what I think is good.
I thought you were fishing for us to ask, but I wasn't sure, so I was just gonna let it ride.
You can always ask, but
I'm not gonna.
I just went for it. Here's what I think is good. And it's very general. It's very broad. And I'm okay with it. Like, it wasn't super specific. My other things are more specific, so we'll get to those. But just general broad strokes here. My good is college football. I don't know why, but this year, college football just seems so much more fun than it has in the past, like, I don't know, 5-10 years. Now, granted, it could be it's the first time in 10 years that my team has started 5-0 and is ranked. That could be part of it.
I mean, that
But
won't last long.
yeah, well, no, we're gonna go all the way. We're gonna beat Georgia. First, we're gonna beat LSU. Anyways,
It's because there's not dominant teams. Alabama's down. Ohio
Yeah.
State's who knows.
That's exactly what it is.
Georgia
Georgia's
doesn't look
not
like
as awesome.
Georgia.
Clemson's just they're dumb.
Clemson is a joke now.
And I know we've talked about it in length, but like the Dion factor also counts for something.
Oh, for sure.
Everyone's a Colorado fan.
Yeah, I think
me included.
It's definitely died down a little bit, I would say.
After they got
But overall, like Colorado, I think is kind of like the catalyst to kind of the way that I feel about college football this year. And then Mob, what you said about there's like really not any dominant teams. Like there really isn't. It seems like everything is wide open, and it hasn't felt this way in a really long time. There's only a few teams that are like out of it at this point. And my hope for Mizzou is just it's still alive, and I don't think they're going to let me down. Brady Cook.
I'd say spoken like a true Mizzou fan, but a true Mizzou fan would be like, they're definitely going to let me down, and it is going to be in the most heartbreaking and crushing way.
There is a sect of Mizzou fans though that do truly believe, and I do truly feel sorry for every year.
Oh yeah. Like every year's a new opportunity. No, it's probably not. But I'm going to pretend it is, and I'm just going to roll with it. Yeah, I would say that Brady Cook, should be in the Heisman conversation. He has the record for pass attempts without an interception in the SEC. That's got to count for something.
You're talking as like a homer, but in all reality, if you took the name away from him and put the stats up there, it's kind of true.
Or if you just put Brady Cook, Ohio State next to his name instead of Mizzou, it will be true.
Correct. This is very school specific.
Luther Burden, same deal.
Well, no, Luther Burden is the best wide receiver in college football.
That's what I mean. You put him on another team, he's
not the best, but he's definitely one of the best.
I disagree. He's the best.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
I would take Marvin Harrison Jr.
That guy knows his way around the football field. Stats wise, sure.
It's Luther Burden.
You
can't argue it.
Look, I'm so St. Louis. Ask my tattooist. I'm a big Luther Burden fan.
LB3.
But there's also the eye test, and he passes it. Don't get me wrong,
dude. He's a monster.
He's so good.
I would say yes, this is very school specific to the school that we went to, kind of.
Can he a Cougar? That's fine.
I'm a Cougar, baby. But yeah, it's like when your team's good, it makes you more interested. Like there is a part of me too that's like kind of I do like when we are really bad, because it's just enjoyable from another standpoint of just like how bad can it get? And honestly, that's what the past few years have felt like.
Well, last year was like the pinnacle of it, because
it was great.
You had the Auburn game.
It was,
and then you had the Kentucky game where like it was like, this is so Mizzou. How can they keep losing in such horrible fashion?
4 plays away from like an 8 or 9 win season last year.
And then you had the Georgia game. And it was like, this is why we believe.
Yeah.
It was the perfect Mizzou season.
So now it's like we're on the other side of that, and we're actually winning games. But it also feels like it could fall apart.
This could look really dumb in like 72 hours.
It could look real dumb real quick. So we'll see how Mizzou LSU goes. So this will probably get released tomorrow, which is October 5th. Game is on the 7th in 2 days. So
good old 11 a.m. kickoff. So all the fans will be nice and lubed up.
Is College Game Day coming to Mizzou? Probably not. But you'll probably get SEC Nation, Tim Tebow.
Now, I will say, if we do beat LSU and then we're undefeated going on against Georgia, I mean, it's at Georgia, right?
It's between the hedges, yeah.
Yeah. They'll probably be there.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, do they go to SEC schools like that? Because they got the whole CBS thing. How does that work?
Well, they definitely
they don't have to have the game that they're going
right.
to. They've done Pac-12 games.
Yeah.
They typically
they'll typically do College Game Day wherever they want to do it, even if the game that ESPN has isn't there.
Like they've done it at Wyoming before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I would say that I would assume that SEC Nation is going to be there on Saturday, right? They have to be.
I mean, who is that? What is that? Paul and Tebow?
Paul and Tebow and Jordan
Hey,
Rodgers. I think who else is there? There's somebody else I can't remember.
Is the Bachelor part of it? Can't remember his name.
Jordan Rodgers.
The other Bachelor. Jesse. What's his
Jesse?
face?
No, he's ESPN. He's straight ESPN.
And he's doing the Golden Bachelor, so.
Yeah, he's really busy right now. And he's got Bachelor in Paradise going on. Dude, that guy, he's a company man. ABC really puts him through it. I hope they gave him a raise this year. Like, hey, we're going to have you host 2 Bachelor shows at the same time in the middle of college football season. You good with that?
Butt slap. Good luck.
Butt slap. Go get him, cowboy. That's what they told him. Yeah. So SEC Nation, look for him in Columbia. Hey, if I will, you got, or Kev, you're in Columbia. Mob, you're in Kansas City, which is close enough. If one of you guys goes and finds where the SEC Nation like thing is and has a sign that says "Follow Corked Bats," I'll give you $10.
I'd think about it.
Okay.
That also requires me to like leave my house, so that's kind of a bummer. But
that's a problem.
You know, we could negotiate.
Yeah. So yeah, college football, man, is good. If you haven't been watching, you should watch. A lot of good stuff going on this year. All right. I think it's time that we go through our backs of the week. How do you guys feel about that?
Hit me, Mob.
All the way back to Mob. Mob, what you got? What's back?
My back is we are now in Love is Blind is back. Season 5.
Hell yeah, baby.
It's always shocking to my wife that I watch this show. And
Does she not watch with you?
No, this is all me. She actually
I didn't know that.
The first 3 episodes came out and I was watching it and she sat down and goes, "Can we watch something else?" So it's back. And at this point, I'm shocked that I'm still watching. This season could have been my bad. It is awful.
Like it's awful in the sense that it's not even entertaining.
There's usually at least like one likable couple, right?
There's none.
I would say there are none.
Dude, that makes me want to watch it even more.
And like,
I hate the likable couples.
I don't want to get any spoilers out, but like we're 6 episodes in or whatever. There's only 2 engaged couples. Like it's
interesting.
Yeah, that's not to say there aren't other couples that they're moving along and showing, but I don't know. I just feel like at this point there's some other things going on that they're like, yeah, it's not scripted. We didn't plan this, and it's like that feels like too good to not have planned, you know? Mm-hmm. And it's just like it's back, and I'll watch it, and yeah, I'll have opinions, and I just like it's back. It's back.
You can't deny it. It is back. I've yet to watch this season of Love is Blind. I am a huge fan, though. I just haven't had time to sit down. I'll probably get a little bit of time this weekend to get started on it. I will say that it is by far my favorite dating show. I do love Bachelor, but I feel like there's a certain amount of just like naivete and or just like stupidity that goes with Love is Blind that you just don't get anywhere else.
Like we talked about with James Harden, this is complete lack of self-awareness television.
Right. Yeah.
Like, so my favorite, and it's been resurrected, and I've got to figure out how to watch it, is F-Boy Island, just because that is one that doesn't take itself so seriously, and I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
I mean,
Whereas this, like,
look at the title.
they're all right. This one, they're all taking it so seriously. You look
Right.
back at like the other seasons, and it's like none of the people who didn't get married are even in like long-term relationships at all. They're still like not dating anyone good. Season 2, the married couples are all divorced. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like the premise, it's like the more it goes, the more the premise is just like, guys, you keep calling this an experiment, but I think we have a heavy dose that it doesn't work.
Right. They're like, it's like they're keeping on like, hey, we're still not sure. And I'm like, I could point to about 100 different examples as to how this definitely doesn't work.
Right.
But hey, I mean, it gets people to watch. Like, why would you possibly, like, you're still watching it? I'm gonna watch it.
I'm
Like,
still watching it.
of course they're gonna keep doing it. I would also say about Love is Blind, and I don't know if this is okay to say, but I feel like it's the dating show that like I could be on. Like, I'm hot enough to be on Love is Blind. Like, the people on the show are, it's a wide range of interesting people. So yeah, I don't know if that's okay to say.
No,
And I
I
have no
think it is.
intention of going on. I am
And
married.
it's not that like the people on it are hideous or
No.
even ugly. Like, they're all
Right.
attractive people in their right.
Sure.
But I also think the majority of them like think they're more attractive than they are.
Which I definitely fit in that category as well. So yeah, I feel like I'd be a good fit if I was not married to the love of my life. Nothing.
Yeah.
Anyways,
My dog just opened my door and
dude,
then stared at me and walked away.
that's a talented ass dog, bruh.
It's an annoying dog.
Well,
He's
shout
for
out to
sale.
Theo. Anyways, Mob, I'm glad you're back, and I'm glad Love is Blind is back. Let's move on to Kevin. Kevin, my dog, what is back?
2005. I'm back on Halo.
Good year. Like the
playing-
Halo.
All the Halos.
What?
I bought a Xbox a couple weeks ago, fully intending on playing new games, and I saw the Master Chief Collection on sale for $7.99. I was like, yeah, why not?
Yes,
So
please.
I've been playing all the Halos, any of them, all of them. And see, I didn't have an Xbox growing up, so I didn't really get the full. I never got to play the campaigns, do any of that.
Mhm.
I'm back to 2005, Kevin. I'm just thinking about Halo during the workday. I'm like, I can't wait to get home to go play.
So your goal, essentially, you bought an Xbox, I would assume, to probably play Starfield.
See, yeah, I've downloaded it and I have played a little, but Halo got its hooks in me.
You got distracted. I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll get there eventually. Starfield's not going anywhere. There's a lot to explore. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like not to. I'm a really bad pilot. I've barely played, but I'm a really bad pilot.
That's
I-
all you need to know is that you start out as a really bad pilot. As
I'm not.
I
I'm
started,
not
it
good.
was horrible. I almost quit. I was like, I don't want to play this game if this is what I have to do.
Mm,
I promise you
Reassuring.
it gets better.
reassuring.
Yeah, just finding a new ship. You'll be
Yeah,
good.
just gotta steal some ships.
My ship stinks.
Or
But anyway,
do one of the
Master-
side quests where you get one. I can help you out.
Yeah, there's a few games from that era that I would love to go back and revisit. I did play the Master Chief Collection probably like 2-3 years ago because it was on. I think it's still on Game Pass. And so yeah,
I think Halo Infinite's on Game Pass, and that's what
Yeah,
I'm playing right
all
now.
the-
Which it's just Halo with not like a bungee cord. What do you call that thing? Slingshot, not a slingshot. You know what I'm trying to say.
yeah, all those like basic like or those like Microsoft or Xbox exclusives are on Game Pass. So if you're looking to get Xbox Live, actually I think Xbox Live doesn't exist anymore. It's just Game
It's-
Pass, like the different
yeah.
versions of Game Pass now.
Yeah.
Which is
think
fine,
you're
I
right.
guess, if you're willing to pay for it. But you'll have to give me your Xbox deets once we get off of this podcast, so we can play Halo
You
together.
could probably guess what my gamer tag is.
I'm gonna guess it's somewhere in the range of butt soup.
Nailed it.
Got it.
Nailed
Fucking nailed it, bro. Well, that's exciting. We can play Halo together. We can get Jake too. Jake can play.
Jake would be like watching a master at work. I need to get my Halo game up a little bit before I play with Jake.
You'd be surprised. We're probably all on the same level. Anyways, well, Kev, thanks for being back and giving us your back. I want to talk about my back, or you can ask me. It's fine. Whatever you want to do.
Just talk about it, man.
Okay.
Like, don't make it. Don't make
it weird.
Yeah, there's Kenny just going off and making it awkward.
I just like being special. I'm all about being special.
Which really ties in really well with your back, so go for it.
Yeah. Anyways, my back is Aaron Rodgers being a weird little dude.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been kind of a, through Hard Knocks, or signing with the Jets, Hard Knocks, and then up to blowing out the Achilles. I feel like I've been in a kind of a neutral headspace with Aaron Rodgers, like kind of liking him, kind of enjoying him.
Yeah, almost. I felt bad for him for sure.
Oh, for sure. And to be clear, I still feel bad for him. I think that sucks. Like, you're in a position to maybe turn around this franchise, and then on the fourth play of the game, your Achilles literally explodes. It's not ideal.
Ugh,
and you
gives
really
me
don't
the
wish that
willies.
on anybody. But now he seems like he's back to being just like the weird kind of petty, like, hey, I haven't won it shit in 15 years, but I'm gonna act like I'm good at the best at this game.
He's got nothing else to do, man.
Yeah. Like, so he's just back on this, like, hey, I'm gonna be a weird little dude again. Calling Travis Kelce Mr. Pfizer. Which cool.
I think it's funny that he thinks that that's like a big own. It's like, I got him.
That seems to be like,
I don't know.
In that community, that mindset seems to be prevalent of like, oh man, I'm going to just own everybody with, my vaccine beliefs.
Can we talk about how
here's the best part of it? Here's the best part of it to me.
Yeah,
well, it's not, I'll let you tell this part, but the commercial isn't him telling you to go get vaccinated. It's him telling you can get vaccinated when you get your flu shot. You can get 2 in 1. It's not telling anyone they need to go do anything. It's informing them of what they can do.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
It's the fucking woke mind virus.
I'm happy to report that I didn't turn into a zombie today at 2:00 when that government test went out. Did you see that theory?
That was weird, man. It happened on my phone, and then I was watching Pat McAfee while I worked, and they were all having an issue with it.
Oh, the office was like, my office was just a war zone.
Amy didn't get it, and I can't figure out why.
She must not be implanted.
Yeah, maybe she's like outside of the grid or something.
That's pretty sick.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You married into somebody who's outside the grid.
The conspiracy theory is there was a sect of the Facebook 5Gers out there that thought when this test went off, if you were vaccinated, it was going to trigger whatever microchip has been injected into you and turn you into a zombie and fry your brain.
I've never been more disappointed.
Happy to report
to not be a zombie. That would have been so awesome.
We definitely collectively had a really funny chance to do something hilarious and act like zombies to certain people, and we missed it.
Damn it. If only I would have known.
Community. I know.
Yeah, so I'm just like, yeah, he's got nothing better to do, so he's gonna just talk shit. And I mean, I hope he gets better. Like,
he's definitely coming back. Like, he's talking about playing this season, which is hilarious.
But doesn't it all just make you feel like he took the chance? Like, he was like, I don't want to be on Hard Knocks. And then he was like, wait, what if I turn Hard Knocks into something good for me?
Yeah.
Like, it all feels so fake.
I think he would be. I get the impression that he would be a very frustrating person to like have to be like real friends with, because you'd never know if he was playing mind games with you or not.
Right. Like, it's somebody that like makes a joke, but you don't realize it's a joke just because like you don't truly understand their point of view and like sense of humor.
And you also always feel like he thinks you're an idiot all the time, no matter what's going on.
Yeah.
Or
So I
like
didn't go
he
to
makes the
Cal.
joke and you don't actually think it's funny, but you have to laugh because his parents are rich and they fund all your parties. So it's like, we have to laugh at this guy. He's funny, but he's not.
Yeah. Damn. Anyways. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers, the real Aaron Rodgers seems to be back. So that's very
When did he win a
exciting.
Super Bowl? 2011.
Yeah. So 12 years ago.
It's been a minute.
It's been a while for the for the amount of attention he gets. He sure
Wait,
doesn't seem to
when
win very
when
often.
was even the last time he was in the Super Bowl?
He's only
That
been
was the
once.
last time he was in.
He's
the
Oh,
been to one.
really? Okay, yeah.
Correct.
Gotcha.
He's never made it back. Which
But
is,
he's got those MVPs though, so good for him.
right. So I mean, technically, he has some hardware.
He was a master of getting to the NFC Championship game and losing to inferior teams.
Yes, that is that. I mean, it's
I
pretty
feel like
impressive.
that's cool. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's like every year the Packers were in the NFC Championship. It's like, yeah, they're gonna win, and then they just don't.
The fact that they lost to the Bucks, I won't forgive them for that because we'd have 3 Super Bowls by now if they had just beaten Tom Brady like they were supposed to.
They should have just followed the script, man.
Yeah.
Didn't. And we had to pay for it. So sucks. But hey, we won last year. We're current champs. Here you go. Look at it. 57.
My philosophy is that you win a championship, you can't complain for 5 years, which is funny because all I ever do about the Chiefs is complain constantly about
The Chiefs are 3-1. They're one of the best
think
teams
that
in
we
the
were
NFL.
0-4.
And Kevin's out here sending texts about how the pass rate over expectation is low and he wants to die. Like,
I want it on the record that I said, pardon my language, that this game on Sunday night was going to be some fuck shit, and it was. It looked like 17-0. Everything was going fine. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're an idiot." Look what happened. It was such shit housery. Everything that the Chiefs do, they did. And
Yeah.
it's going to happen again.
It's going to happen pretty much every game we play this year.
Yeah,
I would say, too, I knew the vibe was off early, and I texted everybody. Before the game even started, I said, the vibe is off. And I was right. And we still won.
Well, I mean, the vibe was very much not off when we were kicking their ass in the first quarter.
I was starting to feel comfortable at that point.
That's
But
when you know you're in danger.
I knew
though.
something was not right. And it ended up being a really annoying game. Like, it wasn't, obviously we won, so it's like, okay, cool. But it was definitely one of those, like, it doesn't feel like we won.
It's champagne problems. It really is. It's fine.
We're such pieces of shit, dude. Go Chiefs. Anyways,
where did we
that's what
start with all that? I don't even remember.
It was Aaron Rodgers at some point.
Oh, he's a weird guy. Yeah.
He's a weird guy. He's a weird guy. All right, well, let's move on to our uglies of the week, and we'll wrap this up. Mob, what do you got for ugly this week?
oh my gosh. It's time, guys. It's time. What is ugly is the bastardization of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. We have gotten to the point where accounts not even associated with the NFL. Like, I think the NFL doing what they're doing is way too far, but we have accounts that are other sports social media accounts, and they're out there tweeting like they're somehow involved with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. What set me off was the St. Louis Cardinals posted something about Adam Wainwright's stupid little concert. Well, it's cool. I'm sorry. I love you, Adam. This has nothing to do with Waino. But they tweeted about his little concert after his last little game, and it was like a picture of the shirt they were giving out that said, "We're in our Waino era," and it had some chicken nuggets and some ketchup and some ranch behind it, and it said the nuggets and ketchup and possibly ranch are not provided. Like, who are you? You are not associated with this in any way, and there are other
nothing to do with them.
Accounts doing it. Like, I'm to the point where if the Chiefs want to do something about it, cool, it's their thing. What the Eagles did the first week, hilarious. The only Swift Kelce, like, great. But now the NFL's out there changing their like headlines to like the Chiefs are now 2-0 with the Swifties, or like they made their little banner Taylor Swift.
I get why the NFL is doing it. They're attracting a whole new audience. But
it's all money.
Watch football.
But it's like brass tacks. It's these two people's personal lives that they're just like sucking at the teat for. And I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
It's wild. Like, I would say,
I mean, she's going on world tour soon, so this is almost over.
yeah, it'll
Yeah,
be
until Travis Kelce's in Germany next year, bopping to Champagne Problems.
Oh shoot, we will be there soon.
Oh,
like,
no,
guys,
right?
this doesn't end until they break up.
They're not breaking up.
And then it doesn't end because then we're going to get a song about it.
They're not breaking up. Guaranteed. I'm calling it right now.
That'd be so cool.
They're meant to be. Travis Kelce's the right man for the job. That's all I'm going to say. I will say this too. It feels like obviously, if you haven't figured it out by now, by just following Cork Bats and knowing who we are, big Chiefs fans. I'm wearing like all Chiefs gear. You can see Casey Wolf in the background there. Mob's got some Chiefs stuff in his background. Big Chiefs fans. It felt like at the beginning of this situation, it was like our thing, like our little thing that we got to have. Like, hey, did you hear about this? They're quietly hanging out. That was a lot of fun. And now it's like we got to share her with the rest of the world. That's not fair.
Well, that's just comes with the territory.
She is literally the most famous person in the world.
I find it funny that like you have this big entity. And one, it's two worlds colliding, right? Like I'm a Taylor Swift fan. I enjoy her.
Of course.
I went to the concert this summer. It was great. She's great. She's immensely talented. Love her. I'm also a huge NFL fan. And watching the two worlds collide and watching what I thought was like this massive, massive entity simp to Taylor Swift is just mind-boggling because they are just like all they ever see is dollar signs.
Yeah.
And like it's just so weird and so funny, and actually not either of those now. It's just annoying.
Right. The other thing that I hate that this is brought out are the people like who, okay, so I won't name names. It has nothing, it's not either of you guys or really anybody you know, but like this whole sect of people who just hate Taylor Swift. Like, this is really what I think annoys me the most. Just people who just hate her and they don't have any reason to hate her other than like she's Taylor Swift. And most of these people are like probably older men, older white men who are just like, oh, I'm not supposed to like things like Taylor Swift, so I hate her. And then all of a sudden, I've gotten from several people like, this is like Jessica Simpson and Tony Romo all over again. And I can't stand it. It annoys the bejesus out of me because one, it's not that at all. Very different situation.
When did
and then
Jessica
secondly,
Simpson stimulate the U.S. economy? I'll wait.
Right. I'll wait.
It wasn't with her TV show with Nick Lachey.
Although great show. Anyways, but also like the idea of like literally I had a conversation with somebody who was like, oh, I just hate Taylor Swift. And I'm like, why? Give me a reason why. And of course they never can. It's always just like, oh, well, she used to be country music and now she's not. And like, and it's just like, where are you going with this?
If you tell me she used to be country and that's why I don't like her anymore.
And so that's what I said. Is that the reason you don't like her? Because she's not country
You were
anymore?
listening to Taylor Swift.
No,
for
I
her
never
country
liked
music.
her. I just, anyways, you guys are screwed. Here, read this article. They give me an article about how, from earlier this year, about how the Nuggets might be cursed because Taylor Swift played in Denver. And then what happened? What happened?
I think they won the championship.
Yeah, they won the championship. So
Like
get
very
the hell out of
easily
here
won the
with your
championship.
get the hell out of here with your anti-Taylor Swift rhetoric. You will find no quarter with me, sir.
I do enjoy. There's a very small section of this is basically just referring to Chiefs fans, well, football fans that love Taylor Swift and hated Brittany Mahomes, but having to watch them reconcile Brittany Mahomes hanging out with Taylor Swift and Taylor reportedly liking her, and like they did shots after the game the other day, like they went to dinner before the game in New York. Having to watch them like bite their tongue is just immensely enjoyable. And because Brittany got a bad rap. I don't.
Well,
Agreed.
also watching
She's fantastic.
Also watching Taylor do the exact same antics.
Yeah. Exact same stuff.
And them just being like, oh, look, she's so excited for her man. It's like, what's the...
There's no difference.
Oh, my gosh.
There's no difference. These are the same picture.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to Brittany Mahomes. She's a baller. I
Mhm.
don't care what anybody. People can just hate.
If you want to have a problem with Jackson, fine.
Oh yeah,
Right.
no,
If you wanna have a
Everyone
that's
has a
problem with
okay.
problem.
I think you have plenty.
Have
of
you
good
guys noticed
reasons
he's not
there.
around anymore?
Interesting.
Interesting.
It's almost like he got in trouble with the law.
Right, and that maybe
Multiple
they were
times.
finally like, look, you've abused your privilege.
I was actually
Well, do
going
you
to
want
make
to
a
stay on this
shirt.
gravy train? Maybe chill out a little bit, bro.
Yeah, I was actually going to make a shirt after the Super Bowl, and it was just going to be a picture of Jackson Mahomes. Now this is before the shit went down with Jackson Mahomes, but I was going to make a shirt just to troll people with Jackson Mahomes on it and say,
Two-time champ.
no, oh, that would have been a really good idea. I was
Kinda
going
wanna
to say,
make
it was
that.
going to say Summer of Jackson, and that was going to be my theme for this summer. And then unfortunately, he ruined it.
I mean,
So,
he's
thanks,
done a lot
Jackson.
of dumb
He
things.
ruined your summer, and that's
Yeah,
it.
Jackson Mahomes
Yeah.
ruined
Don't
my
ruin us this
summer.
summer. Mhm.
Oh man. Anyways, gosh, okay. Mob, thank you. Appreciate you.
I swear, if another like I don't know, the Winnipeg Jets tweet something about Taylor Swift, I'm going to lose it.
The Winnipeg Jets is the perfect example because that's what it's come to.
Yeah.
Like if they're like even Mark Cuban doing his little thing of like, Taylor, you should break up with him. I've got some single guys on my. It's like it's cringy. It's over with. It's done. Stop it.
Do you think the
Unless you're
Winnipeg
the
Jets
Chiefs.
are like one of the least known franchises in American sports? I mean, they're not.
I think if you polled I think
America,
I think
not
most
Canada.
people would probably guess they're a hockey team just because they're in Winnipeg. But like I think if you like polled the general population, say, what sport is this? And
Or-
said Winnipeg Jets.
Or if you just said, like, there's a team in Winnipeg. What sport do they play and what's their name? There's 0%.
They would get
zero
hockey.
chance. Yeah, they might get
hockey.
hockey.
They would
No
not
one would
get
know their
the.
name.
They would not get the name.
Not in America.
Yeah. Not an American team. So, well, Kev or Mob, thank you. Let's move on to the next ugly of the week with our good friend Kevin. Kevin, what do you find ugly this week, bro?
More football. Refs stink. They're just bad at their jobs at this point. They're bad at every part of it. And the second part of that is I'm really tired of the online refs at their couch at home that just screenshot everything. Hold. Where's
Hold.
the there was
Slow
so
motion
much of
it.
that, so much of that going on, especially after particularly the Jets Chiefs game that I was tuned into because that's who I'm a fan of, and it was a national game. I just the amount of stuff that they don't call correctly, even like the horse collar that they called. They don't even know the rules or the face mask at the goal line. They don't know the rules of the game they're reffing sometimes.
Yeah.
It pisses me off.
Yeah.
So I will say, like, yeah, I'm tired of refs. I am also more in the boat that I'm more tired of the armchair refs who think they know it.
Yeah.
Things like the face mask in the end zone, that happens way too fast for them to like it's you should be more impressed about them actually getting stuff like that right more often than they do. However, it's bad. Like, it's bad.
Yeah.
Like,
well, go ahead.
It's bad. It is bad. Like, that was a poorly. I think what I'm annoyed about. Yes, I am a Chiefs fan, but what I am annoyed about is how it's okay that they can miss calls earlier in the game because it doesn't have the same effect, but we're gonna bitch about it because it happened in the last 2 minutes.
Well, and we're not even bringing in the whole Jawan Taylor thing that was happening 2 weeks before this. Like, the amount of people online that were telling me that Jermaine Johnson was getting held.
He wasn't.
When every offensive lineman in the world went to Twitter and said, "Hey, he's actually just getting cuffed right now. He's getting stood up. This is a good block."
He wasn't making a move. He was literally just doing this. Also, what I saw was an illegal use of hands to the face.
Yeah, he was hitting him. He was slapping him in the side of the head.
Yeah. Also, am I the only one who thought that the only reason that play happened was because of a weak Trey Smith holding call? Like, no one's talking about that.
Right.
Some of the holds they call versus some of the ones they miss. Like, this is me being unbiased. They missed Donovan Smith for 2 egregious holds on the Pacheco run for the
Yeah.
TD in the first quarter. He basically tackled 2 guys on the way to Pacheco scoring and no flags. But then you're right. Then you get that weak hold on Trey Smith.
Like I literally, when they threw the flag on Gardner, I was like, is that on Gardner, I was like, oh, that must be a makeup call. Like that was my thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, but then the other side of it is that when you get the slow motion and you see him grab his neck and shoulder and turn him, and then you have half the internet screaming like, "That's not a hold!" It's like, what are you
definitely is
looking
though.
at?
He
It's
impeded
just
the
like
route.
Super Bowl.
It doesn't
It's
matter.
like the Super Bowl,
Right? It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if Marquez leaned into him or whatever. Like, I think Travis Kelce on his podcast said it best. Don't put yourself in the position for them to make the call, and it doesn't happen. Like at the end of the day, don't put yourself in that position, and we're not arguing about it.
Yeah, if you don't hold him, then like if they call you for holding and you didn't hold, complain away.
Right.
But when you're committing the penalty, when you're doing it, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have any good points to make. I just was pissing me off this
We're
week.
on. I think we're. It's probably at least 30 times every football game I watch where I just yell hold.
Oh,
and
you
it's like, and they never
easily
call
hold,
and it's not even necessarily that I'm like angry. It's just that's a hold. I just saw it. So it's like, yeah, like yes, they're making these calls, but imagine, there's just so many other calls that they don't make. It just seems so absurd.
Don't even get me started on college refs. Those guys don't know their ass from a hole in the ground.
They're
those
like
guys are idiots.
Well, those guys are on the take because the NCAA
they actually
is
are on the
corrupt.
take.
That's a good
and
point.
they're segmented into conferences. Like, yeah.
So, well, shout out to refs everywhere.
Look, you got a hard job, okay?
You have
Just
a hard
be better.
job, but also I don't respect you.
Yeah, no respect for you, but we do appreciate what you do.
Unless you're Jerome Boger, you keep dealing with your brother.
Man.
Didn't he retire though?
I think
yeah,
so.
he's gone, unfortunately.
Howden on the offense. But there's
son of Hercules.
Yeah,
son of Hercules out there.
His seed is out on the ground.
Yeah. I hate and I love that all at the same time. I thought that was great. All right. Last but not least, my ugly of the week, and I think we're gonna get in a fight over this. The Toy Story game. What the fuck, dude?
I love it.
Did you watch it?
I did watch some of it.
So like all I've heard on like TV this week is like how much everybody liked the Toy Story game. Now, granted, I watch mostly ESPN during the day, so like of course they're all company men. They're going to talk about how much they loved the Toy Story game. I watched like maybe 10 minutes of it, and it was so just weird.
Well, Kenny, first off, it wasn't for you. Like, can we get that straight?
Well, it should have been. But like, what kid is I don't know.
But like, okay,
I'm not a kid. I don't
at
know.
8:30 in the morning, you're watching the Falcons and the Jaguars play. How else do you want to watch it be played?
Well, I will say, in all honesty, my
Fair
initial gut reaction was, "Get me that Toy Story game. I don't want to watch the regular version."
And also,
but it didn't take long before I switched over.
If you're a dad with 2 kids, 8:30 on a Sunday morning, and you're fighting for your life, all you want to do is watch some crappy London football, and your kids will watch that for 20 minutes, and you can like cool.
It's a good game. Good idea.
Game. Also,
that's probably why
who doesn't love like when they threw a penalty, Slinky Dog would back up. I loved all of the little things like that.
I think the biggest issue that I had with it wasn't so much like the Toy Story aspect. It's that like, hey, we're gonna do this fun concept. And granted, I'll say this too, pretty cool technology wise. That like it was like 1-for-1 like matched with the players on the actual field. That is neat. I'll give him that. What I didn't care for and what made me change the channel is like I gotta listen to Jerome Boger call this game. And it's like,
you mean Booger?
I mean Booger McFarlane.
Booger McFarlane. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Similar.
Howden on Andy's toy.
Anyways, you gotta listen to Booger McFarlane, and it's like
illegal crack.
And I think
on
who's the other guy calling the game?
I don't even know who the other guy was.
Yeah, but it was
a guy
like
I'd never heard of.
They're not fun to listen to. So it just kind of made it really seem really out of place.
So that part was a little odd. Like with a Nickelodeon game, they got like a kid's star to like do it, which made sense. But they had like they had like a real play-by-play and a football analysis guy calling this game like it was serious.
Calling it like a serious game.
That was kind of weird.
It didn't fit.
They couldn't get a Disney child star because they were too cracked out at 8:30 on a Sunday morning.
Well, okay. Also, SAG strike. So maybe that had something to do.
Oh,
with
you know
it.
what? That could be a real thing.
They probably couldn't pull in anybody from SAG to do it.
Hmm.
We could have done it though. I feel like we would have had a lot more fun with that than those two.
I don't
Totally
know.
unrelated, but go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I think watching Bijan as a toy just totally destroy someone's life was a lot of fun to watch.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was a
And
good time.
I'm all for all this weird stuff. You want to slime a guy in the end zone? Cool. You want Slinky Dog to show you a penalty? Give me all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fun. I'll give you that.
And like,
I think it was
you're
more like
watching that game, the Toy Story broadcast is your main source of watching that London game. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you gotta check in, see about it, flip back, watch some real football, check back in with Slinky. I mean,
yeah, I will say, thinking about it from the standpoint of if I'm a dad and I want to watch some football,
that's the way it's gonna go
Nice.
down. Then
nice.
if
I
that
wouldn't
gives you
mind having
20
that
minutes
option.
apiece on a
Yeah.
Sunday morning.
Yeah. So I don't think they're going to do it again this year, the Toy Story game, but they might. They got plenty of more.
They got a lot of
early morning
London games left. I think the Jags playing
There's only
London
one-
again.
This-
yeah, there's
this
only
week,
one
yeah.
London game
Yeah.
left. There's 2 Germany games, I believe.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I do love how the Jags have become like London's team.
Yeah. And they're not, well, they're not the best, but they're not
They're better
as
than
bad
they
as they used to be.
Yeah.
So I
More
feel like the
watchable
thing
than
that's
they
adding
have
to the overseas games now is that like they're actually sending good teams over. It's not just like bottom barrel teams.
Yeah, sending the
Um,
Dolphins and Chiefs to Germany
that's
is
gonna
like
be
honestly
huge.
way too nice of us.
It was a
Yeah.
choice.
That should be yeah, that's a whole nother thing. Why did they take away Tyreek Hill's return to Arrowhead and put it in Hamburg?
Yeah.
Explain that to me.
It would be cool to go. Do you think we can go?
I don't have the PTO.
Oh, okay. fair.
Amongst other things.
I was gonna
yeah.
see if like, is there like a junk or a Corkbats credit card we can put it on? Just go.
Yeah.
I don't think there is.
What do we have like a probably need about a $10,000 limit for that?
What's the
That ain't
intern
all.
up to?
I don't know,
Maybe
I
he
think
can
he's
drive
in
us.
good
Yeah.
school. Yeah. Drive us to Germany.
I think
Good
about
call. Good call. Oh, cool. Well, that's our good back in uglies of the week. So that's about it for us here on the Junk Drawer podcast. But before we go, it's time to give you a Baldwin College football update. It's been 3 weeks since we talked about Baldwin College. Me, Tom, and Mob all gave our predictions on the season. Obviously, Baldwin is coming off some pretty rough years the past couple of years in regards to the record. But guys, I have some great news. We've played 3 games so far this season, and we are 2-1.
Dang it.
Yeet. Started off with a win at Hamilton 26-12 on September 16th. Then the next week followed versus Williams, beat them 20-0, blanked their asses. And then unfortunately
we
this
did
week,
just drop one to Middlebury.
we
but we'll
lost
get
to
back
Middlebury
it.
this week. But hey,
Can't
you know,
believe
if you would have told me this time whenever we made our predictions about a month ago that we'd be 2-1, I would have said yes, because I believe. So
I would have said I don't believe because I was really hoping for undefeated.
Big game
Yeah.
against Tufts this weekend, though. We're gonna get back on the right track.
yeah, so we'll keep you posted on that, let you know how our polar bears are doing. But guys, I think that's about it for us here at the Junk Drawer. You got anything else you need to get off your chest?
Sure don't.
All right. Well, I will say be sure to follow Corkbats. That's very important. Social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Corkbats. Also be sure to check out corkbats.com. A lot of good stuff on there. And then, of course, also visit youtube.com/Corkbats. That's where you can find the video on demand of this podcast, as well as our other podcasts and all of our other fun videos. So I guess I'll just say that's it. Goodbye. Good night. Ahoy.
Go Chiefs.
Jeez.